There's nobody more delusional than a man that you don't want, but wants you real bad. Delusional. He will make up in his mind that it's something more than what it is, and you have been blatantly honest the whole.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll look at the case of a woman who refuses to accept that a man left her, showing up at his house to wait for him in an attempt to win him back. This man ends up threatening her with the police. Brothers, this is to show you how far they are willing to go for a chat. Your support is super important to us. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming to hit 150,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Share your experiences and advice in the comments. That's what helps this community grow. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. Now, let's get started.
He's not looking at you. He's not one of those guys. He's just curious as to why you have a phone and a camera on your grocery cart and a microphone around your collar.
That's what you guys are, just a couple of meat bags.
Ladies, y'all know I support y'all, but this does not help because there are real women out there that go through harassment just walking through public, just going to the grocery store, just going down the sidewalk. And they struggle with this, not every now and then, but on a daily basis. But it's stuff like this that is counterproductive to the mission of trying to get guys to realize what they're doing is not okay. There's nothing wrong what this guy did. Nothing. So we got to stop doing this. Just stop.
I agree with this man. If I see someone pointing a camera at me, clearly recording, I'm obviously going to look. But women, with their delusional egos, think that any man walking behind them must be lusting after or harassing them, when most of the time we're just heading in the same direction. Filming an older man who wasn't even looking at you, and then trying to portray him as a harasser isn't just unfair, it's cruel. How low can you stoop to seek attention on social media at the expense of someone who wasn't even interacting with you? The man simply reacted to seeing the camera, which is completely normal because, let's be honest, who wouldn't feel uncomfortable being recorded for no reason? This kind of behavior reflects insecurities and a desperate need for validation, no matter who gets hurt in the process. The problem with these actions is that they discredit the real experiences of women who face harassment every day.
Ghosted by a man that I really liked, only for him to tell me 9 months later that he was actually really in love.
One time, I told a guy that I loved him. He did not respond. He silently removed himself from the situation. About 24 hours of no contact, text calls, acknowledgments in the hallways. Yeah, we lived together. Nothing. 24 hours later, myself and his entire family are sitting down, about to have Sunday dinner. He comes home from his serving shift. He worked at a restaurant, completely shit-faced, with some random girl in tow. Takes her downstairs and fucks her loud enough for everybody to hear. Shortly thereafter, he got a long-term girlfriend. Not the rando he brought home, some other girl. I know, what a catch. And we just never talked about it. Eventually, I stopped associating with him and his family and fled the state. I want to say like 4 or 5 years later, he broke up with the girlfriend he got right after I told him I loved him. He calls me on the phone.
4 or 5 years later.
Now, I don't remember a lot from that conversation because I was fucking fuming. He said something along the lines of... Viola Davis. It's you. Kels, it's you. It's always been you.
Welcome to the friend zone. The guy wasn't interested, and you ended up falling for him on your own. Something women often forget is that men silently discard them. The gentleman didn't say anything to avoid rejecting you in a cruel way. He simply did to you what many women do to simps in the friend zone. introduced you to his new partner, even if it broke your heart. Ah, the classic Chad move. He kept you in the friend zone, enjoying the comfort of your attention while you clung to the hope that one day he'd see you as something more. But instead of facing reality, you stayed, watching him bring other women home. Women who didn't need to confess anything because he was already interested in them from the start. That's not love. That's begging for attention from someone who never valued you. From a male perspective, he knows you'll always be available, which is why he'll never make the effort to respect or commit to you. Stop investing in a man who only sees you as an emotional backup. That's the reality. He didn't
Watch this.
Yeah. After I told her I'm showing up here, and she just keeps showing up here anyway. Like, I'm gonna call the police on her. Hey, what you doing here, bruh?
What you mean?
What I tell you about showing up to my house?
I'm trying to talk to you. You not answering.
We
or
ain't got
texting
nothing
me
to talk
back. What else
about.
am I supposed
We
to
don't have
do?
nothing to talk about.
Yes,
We broke
we
up
do.
3 months ago. Why are you still
No, we
popping up
did
at
not.
my
We didn't
house?
even finish having the conversation.
We
though.
don't
You
have
just
nothing to
left.
talk about.
Yes, we
We don't
do.
have nothing to talk about. Like, I'm gonna end up calling the police on you real talk because you keep popping up at the house. Cool.
I think you need to
Like,
come
you look
sit
crazy
down
right
and
now.
talk to me about this.
We
If
don't
you
talk
don't
about.
spend that
We
type
don't
of
talk
need
about.
and then just not be
We
here
are
for me
nothing.
anymore.
I'm never gonna spend any type of time with you.
You
We're
need to come
nothing.
talk to me right
No,
now.
you crazy.
I'm not gonna leave
You
until we
crazy.
get clarity
No, you
on
about
the
to go. You gotta
situation.
get.
No.
You don't stay here. This is my house.
Why are you trying to
We
make
not
me
together
leave,
no
though?
more.
Why? That's what I'm trying
It
to
don't
understand.
matter
Why
why.
are we not
It don't
together?
matter. It don't matter why.
It does matter.
No, it does not matter. You have no business
matters.
at my house.
Why are we
It's
not
like your
together?
third time this
Why can't
month.
we just...
I show up here.
I'm gonna keep
I'm
coming
about to call the
back
police on
because
real talk.
I want to
Like
be
you think
with
I'm
you.
playing with you.
I want to be with you.
I don't care. We're not gonna
You
be
need to
together.
come sit down
We're
and talk to
done.
me about
We're
this,
done.
because at the end of the day,
No.
I'm not about to leave.
But it's been 3 months. 3 months of no relationship, no communication, and no effort on his part to even try to get back with her. What does she want him to say? I mean, sometimes silence is the loudest answer. If someone hasn't spoke to you in 3 months, tried to make an effort with you in 3 months, that's your closure.
No, you is about to leave.
No,
You is
I'm
about to
not
leave
about
because
to
you can't
leave.
stay
Like,
here.
you're not
Oh,
gonna do all this stuff you want
it
to
don't
do,
matter. We're
and then you
done.
finna
That's
make it seem
old.
like I don't
That's
matter.
old.
No.
That's old. Yeah, like we done. That
I don't
ain't.
have
We
to
done. We never getting back together.
Yeah, we are.
This is
So
exactly
you might
why
as
we
well
broke
come
up
sit down.
because you think it's cool to just pop up at my house. It's okay and it's funny to you and it's a real dumb.
This is not funny to me. Like, this is
you
literally
think it's not getting
purposely
together.
not leaving until you tell
We're
me
not
that we are
getting back
still in a
together.
relationship.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is why I say men discard silently. I'd say this guy is a Chad. Look at how obsessed she is with him. But I don't blame him because she's already shown up 3 times. The first time, he was probably polite when telling her. The second time, more direct. But now, on the third, he'll have to be harsh for her to understand. Woman, this man doesn't want you. Pick up your dignity and leave. Silence is the clearest and most direct response. She wants to talk, but it's not to find closure, it's to manipulate. She knows the relationship is over, but can't handle losing control. She begs, insists, and shows up uninvited, showing a complete lack of dignity. This isn't love. It's obsession disguised as need. A man who values his peace doesn't stick around explaining. He makes it clear with his absence and outright rejection. What makes this even more pathetic is how she emotionally drags herself for someone who doesn't want anything to do with her anymore. If this were a man doing the same thing, he'd already be in handcuffs in the back of a patrol car. Yet here she is, standing on this man's porch, acting as if she has some kind of claim over him. Even worse, she's unfazed by threats of the police because she knows she's playing a system that allows her to harass him without immediate consequences. The double standard is glaring. If he were the one refusing to accept no, he'd be in jail before the argument was even over.
I'm gonna come over here every day.
No,
when we
you're
get
not.
off work
You're about to go to jail.
That we
You're
are
gonna
in a
go to jail
relationship.
because I got you on camera.
I'm
Pulling
not
up.
if you invite me here.
I
So
invite you here. What is wrong with you? I don't want to be with you.
talked to you.
We're
That's
done.
what's wrong with me.
You're not invited
me.
over here. You're not invited ever to come over here ever again. We're not in a relationship.
Why?
We've been broken up for 3
Why,
months.
though?
Why do you think it's okay to come to my house when we're not in a relationship?
Because you haven't given me any closure on the situation.
I don't care about your closure. It's done. You don't pop up at my house when
I'm not really wasting all our time.
No, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You were going to go to jail. That's what's going to happen to you. Oh, I'm dead serious.
Wow.
I'm dead serious. If I haven't been serious about anything else, I'm serious about that. You're gonna go to jail because you can't stay here.
I'm not leaving.
You gotta no. You are leaving. Like
You're
real
not
talk,
about
you
to
gotta go.
treat me like that.
Care
I'm not
about none of
leaving.
that. I don't care about none of that. It's done. I did that. We're done. It
We're
is what
not.
it is.
We're
Move
not done.
on.
I'll stay
Move
here
on.
all
You
night. I don't
sound
have
like a
anything else to
crazy
do.
scorned
I
woman
don't
right
care.
now. You
I
need to
will
find
stay
some
here
help. You
all
can seek
night.
help.
When it gets to the point where somebody is wanting you off their property so bad that they threaten you to call the police just to remove you, I'm gonna need you to get off that man's porch. It don't matter how much she's begging, pleading. This man ain't about to change his mind. He's only making things worse.
Go talk to somebody
You're my
about this.
help.
You have a serious
Help.
problem.
Can
No,
you help me?
I don't want to have nothing to do with you. You can't even help yourself. You're pathetic. I don't want nothing to do with you. Go
You're
home.
pathetic. Look
Get
what
out
you
of
did
here.
to me.
Pathetic.
You
Get
just
out of here.
ignored somebody for
I don't
months,
care.
though.
Go. Get out of here.
No.
And you still just sitting here. You look ridiculous. I'm about to call the police on you. Real talk.
Don't care. Like, I will sit on this porch all night.
Guess what? You're going to sit on this porch in handcuffs. On your way out in handcuffs.
I'm not worried.
That's the
about
only way you about to leave up out of here.
Tell them why.
Yeah. I'm about to call them right now.
I'm not worried about it. You need to come talk to me.
No,
I missed you.
no,
literally.
man, no. We done.
Like, I'm just trying
We
to
ain't
make
got-
this
we don't
work
have
with
nothing else to
you.
talk
Like,
about.
I don't understand what the problem is. Like, why don't you want to be with me? Like,
Because you look ridiculous. You're crazy.
you want me to be crazy?
You are crazy. I don't want
think
you.
you
I
really
can't
want
want you
me
to
to
be
act
something you
crazy.
already are. Right?
I
Car you
love you,
got
though.
and get up off my
I
property.
thought we were falling in love. Like, you don't just ghost somebody after the stuff we was talking
You
about.
got to be on something. For you to sit here and say that you think that we're in love and we haven't been together in 3 months.
Whew. So he calls her crazy because she's acting a little crazy. Do you think she knows why he broke up with her and just in denial, just can't face it? He's telling her over and over, I don't want to be with you. Honey, that's all the closure you need. What's the saying? Don't ever let somebody tell you twice that they don't want to be with you. If they made it clear, it's done. Whether you got the answers that you needed or you didn't, it's over. So you need to pick yourself up and leave. Begging for someone to stay with you when they're not willing, it ain't worth it. You need to protect your peace and know when it's time to move on. If you're ever in a situation like this, remember that your worth is not tied to someone else's decision to stay with you or leave. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is let go, even when it's difficult. I would love to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, follow. You know what to do. Let's go.
Hell to the no, no. Hell no.
Brothers, avoid chaos in your lives. This woman is unstable. This is the third time she's shown up uninvited. She keeps pushing the same narrative about getting him back and wanting closure. Woman, he already gave you your closure. Accept that you can't hold on to this man. This woman not only shows up uninvited, but insists they're still in love. In love? Seriously? The man hasn't spoken to you in 3 months. This isn't love. It's a fantasy in your head. And the worst part is that she keeps begging, pleading for someone who clearly doesn't want anything to do with her. This isn't just a lack of dignity. It's a harsh lesson about what happens when someone can't accept rejection. What more do you need than hearing, "I don't want to be with you," over and over? This type of woman, who becomes obsessed and can't take no for an answer, brings guaranteed chaos to your life. From the beginning, her behavior is full of red flags. Brothers, remember, what starts as innocent persistence can escalate into chaos that destroys your peace of mind and personal life. This isn't romantic. It's toxic and often dangerous. A man must protect himself by being careful about who he allows into his life.
If you really pay attention, you will realize that men tell on themselves all the time. This is how I found out I was getting cheated on. I was in a long distance relationship with this guy who was my boyfriend at the time, definitely an ex now. And we planned to go on a cruise together, so we flew out separately from our cities. But he wound up missing his flight because he bleached his hair to a crisp, like it was breaking off. Luckily, he made his flight the next day and we were able to board our cruise. The cruise was so much fun. I was so sad when the cruise was over, but of course, all good things come to an end, and we had to get back to reality and fly back home to our respective states. I spent my entire flight looking through all of our pictures we took together, and I was just really sad to be going home without him. As we were descending, I got a shitload of texts from him, and I instantly knew that something was off. He was basically freaking out, saying that some crazy girl was going to DM me and make all these claims, but none of them are true. And at this point, Instagram was that girl, and I was getting hundreds of messages a day. My Wi-Fi kept on cutting in and out while I was searching for this DM, but I finally found it. The girl was basically saying that she had been seeing my ex and that they were just together, and as a matter of fact, he asked her to pick him up from the airport that evening. She said that she turned him down because she found out about me and that he had a girlfriend. But I was really skeptical of her claims because my ex had a tendency to post everything like as he was doing it, so everybody knew his business. Of course, I DM'd her back asking for proof, and she sent me screenshots and a bunch of other things, but of course I was still in denial because I really wanted to believe my man over a stranger. My ex was so embarrassed that he fried his hair. That was the one thing that he did not put on social media. Like, he didn't want anybody to know. So when she mentioned that she was with him the day he missed his flight, helping him with his hair and putting coconut oil in it, I knew that she was telling the truth. This man came in the morning of our cruise reeking like coconut oil, and I even asked him, like, how do you know about coconut oil? And he was like, oh, my barber told me to use it. And I swear to you, I would have never seen that DM if he did not tell me about it. He was trying to get ahead of the game, but instead he played himself in the worst way possible. But there is so much more to the story, so let me know if you want a part 2. Moral of the story is, when men tell on themselves, believe them the first time.
The first thing to understand is that he told you what could happen. Second, this was the first time you were meeting in person, which means he didn't have a serious commitment to you yet. Just as you could have gone to meet him, you could have stayed home, so there's no guarantee you weren't talking to anyone else either. Let's get one thing clear. Women always have options. They're always talking to more than one person, evaluating who aligns best with what they want before committing to someone. Meanwhile, this man was emotionally invested, ready to make the effort to fly, plan, and be with you. But of course, what happens next? The obsessed ex shows up, not because she's telling the truth, but because she can't handle the fact that he's moved on with someone else. And instead of trusting him, you choose to give weight to the words of a complete stranger. What's clear here is that this man was honest from the beginning. Before that trip, there was no real commitment. You were building something together. After the trip, you became a couple. Now, this ex, who doesn't know how to let go, seizes any opportunity to plant doubt in your mind. Why? Because she knows it's the only way to try to win him back. You have two options: stay with him, enjoy your relationship, and forget about things that happened before your time, or leave him, and he'll either move on to someone else or go back to his ex, who won't care that he was with you. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about this woman refusing to leave this man's house? Have you ever had an ex who wouldn't take no for an answer? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.